Welcome to Business Wrap. Here's our top story. The U.S. President Barack Obama has called for radical reforms in the way American polity thinks and acts, in fact, to address the current and emerging challenges in his country. And in his State of the Union address to the American Congress, Obama called for what? Comprehensive tax reforms, so that he could ensure equity between the rich and the poor and create jobs for Americans. Well, Obama also proposed spending half of the money America will save from the end of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan on high-speed rail lines and also to repair the nation's creaking roads and infrastructure. He also seized on the opportunity. This is the last time, in fact, before the presidential polls, so he delivered a political message. And amidst repeated applause from lawmakers, Obama asserted that the United States is back and will continue to be an indispensable world power.
We can't hear anything.
Lesser tax rate than his secretary, and hence the need for tax reforms. In the election year, Obama threw a challenge at his Republican rivals, asking them to approve payroll tax cuts that helps millions of middle-income Americans. He stressed that rules must be common for all, and everyone should do his bit.
We can restore an economy where everyone gets a fair shot, and everyone does their fair share, and everyone plays by the same set of rules. No American company should be able to avoid paying its fair share of taxes by moving jobs and profits overseas. From now on, every multinational company should have to pay a basic minimum tax, and every penny should go towards lowering taxes for companies that choose to stay here and hire here in America.
In his State of the Union address, Obama suggested a blueprint for American economy based on manufacturing, self-reliance in energy, skilled workers, and American values. Seeking to dispel gloomy picture on economic front, Obama said American manufacturing is back on track. China found a special mention in Obama's address, conveying his concern about unfair trade practices by America's economic rivals. Obama said a trade enforcement unit will be set up to probe irregularities in the countries like China. High rate of unemployment was on the top of Obama's mind as he spoke of reforms in taxation, education, outsourcing and immigration. He referred to the need for a law to enable overseas students to take up jobs in the United States. Under severe attack from Republican hopefuls on foreign policy, President Obama asserted that America's alliances with various groups and countries are the strongest ever. He further said that because of America's diplomacy, Iran is more isolated than ever, and Tehran will not be allowed to acquire nuclear weapons.
Let there be no doubt. America is determined to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon, and I will take no options off the table to achieve that goal.
On the larger issue of America's role in global affairs, Obama said, in an emotive tone though, that US will continue to be an indispensable power, and whoever doubts it is only ignorant. The loud applause that he got, in fact, suggested that even a large section of the lawmakers had such doubts.
Anyone who tells you otherwise, anyone who tells you that America is in decline or that our influence has waned, doesn't know what they're talking about. No, we can't control every event. But America remains the one indispensable nation in world affairs, and as long as I'm president, I intend to keep it that way.
President Obama asked Republicans if there is any justification for perpetual, mutually destructive posturing. He will perhaps find an answer when many of the proposals made in his State of the Union address are brought for vote in the Congress. Obama certainly scored some political points ahead of the crucial November presidential polls. Bureau Report, DD News.
Well, and stepping up his campaign against outsourcing, the U.S. President Barack Obama today announced a series of measures that would offer incentives to those firms which create jobs in the United States, a move that may also affect companies in India. And many of his proposals centered on changes in the tax code, including limiting deductions for companies that move jobs overseas, rewarding companies that return jobs to the United States, and increasing taxes on wealthy Americans. Well, Obama said this during his State of the Union address, during which he presented an economic blueprint aiming to take his country away from outsourcing, bad debt, and also what he called phony profits.
Tonight, my message to business leaders is simple. Ask yourselves what you can do to bring jobs back to your country, and your country will do everything we can to help you succeed. If you're a business that wants to outsource jobs, you shouldn't get a tax deduction for doing it. That money should be used to cover moving expenses for companies like Masterlock that decide to bring jobs home. Second, no American company should be able to avoid paying its fair share of taxes by moving jobs and profits overseas.
Well, we're joined in the studio by Sunil Goel, the Managing Director of Global Hunt. Let's discuss with him about the situation about outsourcing. Thanks very much, Mr. Goel. Tell us, first of all, what do you think? I mean, are jobs going to stop coming to India? Is outsourcing going to stop after you listen to what the U.S. President said?
U.S. President has, I think, all the rights to protect the interest of his country and the people within his country. And I believe this was his even a prior agenda before he became the, president of U.S. And many things which were discussed. But if you look at the timings and if you look at the situation, it's a lot of things which are happening just prior election.
So you talked about the situation. Let's first look. I mean, now outsourcing, it has been going on for the last 15 years. And it's built into a huge, globalization has resulted as a result of that. The U.S. economy is become a world economy in a sense. Can he stop it? I mean, it's not possible to stop something like that now when it's already running